All right. Well, I think that's as good as that's gonna get. I think I am live for you guys, so I want to say hello and welcome to the first stream of Kaluos Live. So this is a new thing I'm trying out to share a little bit more information with you guys in this format on YouTube. I was trying to get my lovely logo to appear up here, but I'm fighting for USB space and the circle light won. So the ring light rather. So I am here to share a couple updates with you guys. I'm really excited about some stuff I've got going and coming up here creatively. And also, as you can see, the lovely Asha Adorable franchise that we have, that's her YouTube channel, but the Love My Productions that she operates, Miss Asha Chai Chang, is a very close friend of mine, really dear friend up in North Carolina. And she I'm getting ahead of myself because I really want to talk about where I met Asha and what a beautiful spirit and energy she is, because I think it's the time to, look at the people that you have around you and see the creativity and feel inspired by their craft. So you'll notice that I have her logo up here, and behind me over here I actually have a t-shirt that she gave me that I put on a pillow so it stands a little clearer so you can see it. But I am excited to open some new swag that I got from her during the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. But before then, like I mentioned, I want to share how I met her. And it was actually through a mutual friend named Shane Briscoe, another guest of Faces of Clueless that you might recognize. Shane is an awesome video producer, movie producer. She's done a number of things as well. And so is Asha. Asha's another filmmaker, again, up from North Carolina. And Shane was down in Miami, and she was doing a 48-hour film festival where you get the subject, and then you have to go and run and make a film in 48 hours. So she called me up. We had worked on a project before, and she said, hey, is this something you'd be interested in? Will you be my makeup and costume person? And I said yes. Packed up my car, my SUV, if you will, my stuff, every costume, makeup, things like that I could find, threw it in the car, hit the road, and wanted to make that with her. So I get down to see a Shane and meet the crew and see everyone, and I swear the moment that I met Asha, she tells the story too, but the moment that I met Asha, it was like, hey girl, how's it going? Like immediately it was like, you are my friend, you have been my friend, our spirits are in what do you call it, in sync with one another. I was trying for a very less creepy, we are intertwined in some way, but people started asking us how long we knew each other, not realizing that we had just met at that thing. So it was a crazy experience. We were running all over the place doing makeup. We had this crazy woman who was dressed as an alien and like jumping on top of cars and singing the national anthem and really doing some crazy stuff on her motorcycle. So being a part of that and helping to bring those characters to life and have them feel so invigorated and energized by the makeup and the costumes and what we were doing with them. Personally, it was really cool. But then, because of how many people we had involved in the project, I was able to step in and do some of the acting and participation in the actual film itself. So there were a couple scenes of one of the films we were doing where Asha and I got to act opposite one another. And I'd have to watch it again to actually know the full context of like these. It was something about popsicles and something about the like drug popsicles or something, or doing drugs. So as we were eating these popsicles, we were just supposed to be getting really high in the film of eating these drug popsicles, and we just had to keep doing weirder and weirder stuff. And I was like jumping in a tree, and I was like on the ground, and we were doing all this crazy stuff, and it just felt so, as weird as we were being, it felt so natural to do that with someone like her. So like I mentioned, Asha is a force to be reckoned with, so is a Shane, but Asha's stuff is what we're highlighting tonight with the Love My Productions unboxing that's coming up in just a minute. So I mentioned she is Love My Productions for her films. They're in a number of film, what do you call them? Those film events. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. the film festival. There we go. I should know, Breast Fest, music festivals. So she's in a number of film festivals and virtual ratings or polls or contests where you can vote and help her with that. But she also has her own YouTube channel. So obviously you're here, you know the Cluos YouTube channel, but go check out Asha Adorable, and she has the coolest little makeup tutorials and stuff. I'm not as good at the tutorial stuff as she is, and the looks she comes up with puts mine to shame. I spent the reason the stream was late was trying to get these things to match. I do makeup, but I do not consider myself necessarily good at makeup. So what we're doing today is unboxing the Asha Adorable item that I got, which is a mystery to you all so far. But I was talking just a minute ago about how I met Asha and how, you know, we kind of fell in friendship with one another at first sight, and we stayed in touch throughout the years. She's come down to Florida, I've gone up to North Carolina, we visited one another. Her mom is an absolute sweetheart, and she came down once for Holiday Matsuri. And there was one other amazing story I love telling about with Asha, because it's so absolutely ridiculous that this happened. So we were all at Holiday Matsuri. There was a number of us in the group, and you know, I had painted someone and they were with us. There was a photographer who was taking some pictures who was there with us. And then we kind of throughout the day whittled down to just 3 of us left. And so we're at Holiday Matsuri, and for those of you who don't know, Holiday Matsuri, or Holomat, is a really big convention down in Orlando, Florida. And Asha, mind you, had made the trip down here. Another friend had made a trip from even farther, and we were all staying in this hotel. I was painting someone else, so I was still up at my place, but we all met up here, and we had to take a shuttle to where the actual convention was going to be. So we had to park really far away. We all get on the shuttle, and we're headed to the convention. And the bus driver of this shuttle is telling us about this new Indian restaurant that's opening up. And it's so cool because, you know, there's going to be specials because it's a grand opening and everyone's welcome to go. So we're hearing about this, like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I like a good deal, good Indian food. Maybe check it out. Like I said, we go to the convention, we're taking photos, we're walking around, doing this stuff. People go on their separate ways. So just the 3 of us are left. And we decide we're going to go check out this Indian spot. The guy on the shuttle bus for Holiday Matsuri was talking to us about it, right? So we end up going to this Indian restaurant, total grand opening for this restaurant. And we walk in, and it was like a sitcom. It was like a sitcom record screech. We walk in, and everyone stops and stares at us. No one else was in costume. No one else was in cosplay. It really looked like no one else had come from Holiday Matsuri before. And so obviously we were there for the food, so we weren't going to go anywhere else. We decided to go on our merry ways. And to paint the picture, I suppose I should mention what we were actually cosplaying at this point, because Asha was dressed as in her incredible red Wonder Woman costume, and I'm going to botch it if I try and remember what character she was. Oh shoot, that's on the tip of my tongue too. I'm a really bad nerd. My recall is like scratched. So if you know it, throw it in the comments for everyone else, because I'm not going to remember really quickly. But I was dressed as my steampunk Wonder Woman, which consists of blue bikini panties, bikini bottoms, and they have like gold wing flap type things on the side of them, kind of flowy pieces of gold fabric. And then it's a red corset that's leather and red, and it's worn, and it has these big like steampunk straps, latches on the front of it, and a big black wig. And so we are dressed in these flowy Wonder Woman costumes, and we go into this Indian restaurant, and everyone is suddenly like eyes on us. So we didn't think anything of it. We thought they were just like, oh, okay, these people are crazy, whatever. But they thought, because it was the grand opening, that we were the entertainment for the night. So we kept having people come up to our tables and ask us when we were performing. And we even had them come up and say that they were done with their food, but they didn't want to leave and miss the performance. So absolutely ridiculous. They thought we were belly dancers or something, and Asha's like, we should do it, we should get up there. And I'm like, we don't have any music, I can't do this on the fly. So Asha is and has been and continues to be an absolutely positive creative force in my life. And I love to support what she's up to, and I know that we have had that mutual respect and love for that entrepreneurship in one another for a really long time. So when I saw her Black Friday, Cyber Monday special that was coming up, I had to take advantage. So I am going to go ahead and do the unboxing of the latest in my collection for the Love My Productions items that you see over here. So before then, I'm going to get my next thoughts up and running. You guys, this year, I tell ya, it has done some things. I don't know if you've been feeling more creative or feeling more creator's block lately, but I feel like it goes in waves. Just to take a second before the unboxing. I think that sometimes I get this rush of, I have so many ideas, I have to get them out, I'm so excited, and then I have these long periods in between of, I just don't have time, I'm not in the mood, it's not going to happen, I have too much other stuff to do, and you can kind of, it can kind of be limiting too. So, yeah, I think I'm like looking at YouTube yelling at me over here, pardon my shifts in vision, but I think it's time for the unboxing of what I got from Love My Productions. And you can see over here as well, we have the Asha Chai Chang and Love My Productions Instagram handles. Go ahead and follow her. As I mentioned, find her here on YouTube and check out her Ashadorable tutorials, makeup tutorials that she does. They're pretty fantastic. So without further ado, and there has been much ado, I'm going to try and open the box without hurting myself, which is pretty rare, but you know, maybe I won't die live on camera. If I did, you know, who's watching anyway? I kid. See, this is the first step of opening the box. I'm really good at these. And then, you know, you open the box. What's inside? Any guesses? Did you see some peeks? Oh, okay, well, drum roll please. Look at how cute that is. So shiny. Asha adorable. Look at it, kind of matches the shininess of my wall. Reflections. I am so excited, and that design is on both sides. That is really cute. Because sometimes you'll get a design and it's only on one side. Nope, that is really cute. That is a nice big coffee mug for all of the caffeinating I'm going to need to be doing. And it has a nice balance to it. Oh, I'm just so excited. That is her really cute YouTube logo for the Ashadorable. Let's see if I can get the light to, there we go. For her Ashadorable makeup tutorials. I love it so much. I think it is super cute. And now I have this coffee mug to remind me of my fellow boss babe up in North Carolina. So if you're watching this, Queen, thank you. Keep the hustle going. It definitely inspires me to watch you be on your grind and do what you do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears to the next thing that I want to talk about here today, which is ArtHaus. And if you haven't seen it already while you're here on YouTube, go ahead and check out the What is ArtHaus video. It actually talks in a lot more detail about the purpose of what I'm doing here and what I'm doing with the space. And oh, it's funny. I see that it's like overlapping my little Kaluos logo down there. Ah, well, it's all combined. But longest story short, the Reader's Digest version here of ArtHaus is that I am renovating this house that I own to be private art studios that people can rent. And the idea is that if you don't have the space in your own home, or if you just want to get away and work on something creative versus taking your laptop to a coffee shop or taking your homework to the library, bring your creative projects here and think of it as that getaway, whether you want to just go to the open studio, which is free, where you just go to the open studio. When it's open, you can just drop in and work on your project, or rent one of the private studios that I have so that you can get that focus in, shut the door, and just really get in your zone and help battle some of that creator's block. And also, it also helps to have the space to bring the half-finished projects. So you can be inspired and make something new, or you can work on something that you already had partially done, and you can just be inspired by the other art and murals and stuff around you. So the original goal for the live stream tonight was to actually take you on a tour of ArtHaus and walk you through it, see all the lights and see all of the different rooms and segments. And then I realized that you can't stream on YouTube unless you have 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 people out there in the world who care enough to watch you stream from your mobile device. So I couldn't use my phone, and I didn't have time to set up the extra camera as an additional feed source in OBS, but there will be a full virtual tour of the space coming soon, so you can actually check out all of the different spaces. But until then, you can always just come by the space. If you're in Central Florida in the Orlando downtown area, you can just book a tour, find a time that works for us, and you can come by and check it out for yourself, because it's kind of hard to explain through a virtual medium. It really is the kind of place that you just have to be here, and then you get the feeling of, wow, this is really cool, wow, there's a lot of art, wow, there's a lot going on, in a really good way. So I'm excited about ArtHaus for being this art collective where people can help encourage one another, help inspire one another, maybe just actually help each other if there's projects that people are trying to go in on. And there are benefits in that collaboration, and the idea is to have either some membership or deluxe package that you can get that's not just renting the space, but what other stuff do you need to help launch your career as an artist, right? So do you need new headshots? Do you need pictures of your products in a very uniform way? Bring all of your products here and spend the afternoon photographing them, getting them all done, and then you can use them for your Etsy store, your Shopify, WooCommerce, whatever platform you use, you can use that. So there's definitely a lot that we want to offer here at ArtHaus, in addition to Skillshare courses, which are coming soon, which I am really thrilled about, because some of you might have known from following me on social media for a while that I actually was a college professor, and I taught not only at FIU down in Miami, Florida, but also at Valencia Community College. I loved all of them. I really miss my students. I definitely have, let's change that midstream, that's a good idea. And of course I killed it, didn't I? Alright, rat me out in the comments, I'm a horrible person. Oh my god, and Kyle's here! Hello, hello. But anyway, I love ArtHaus. I think it's a fantastic thing. I want people to be here, and as someone who was a professor, the idea of combining the live, having people come here and experience the space, with the virtual, which is, meeting people where they are. I also don't really want to go out that much yet, and so I don't feel like forcing people to say, be comfortable with going out places, and, although anything we would be doing here at ArtHaus is very safe and sanitary, thermometer checks when people come in the door, hand sanitizer stations, and making sure that in between people use the studio, everything is cleaned. So when there are small events here, which we'll talk about in a second, spoilers, but when there are events, people will be masks required, socially distant, and that will definitely have some cool benefits there too. But people should be able to trust us that it's clean and safe and healthy and fun and inspiring. So that is ArtHaus, what we're doing. You should check out, as you can see over here, you can check out ArtHaus615 on Instagram, so you can see the progression of all of the partial projects that we have in place for ArtHaus, all of the improvements that are happening. And I feel like there's something to be said for doing an art project in a space that is itself a work in progress, because you know that you are working on something while the stuff around you is also being worked on, and it feels very natural that you would be you'd be working on those things. Sometimes when you bring something partial to somewhere that seems very put together, it feels like, oh, I don't belong here because my stuff is not as great as the stuff I see. But I think that this should be looked at, ArtHaus should be looked at as a launch pad for creatives, and giving you the tools or space or resources or connections that you need to bridge whatever gap you have. If it's a confidence and self-presentation and branding gap, we can help with that. Whether it's an education and learning and skill gap, we can help with that. And there are just a lot of resources that we want to provide. So it also helps to know what people need. So the more we hear about that, the more we can facilitate and make sure upcoming materials support whatever you're doing, whatever you're up to. So with that, as I mentioned, ArtHaus might have some small events from time to time, and it's not because ArtHaus is an events center necessarily, where I want people just walking in off the street or, you know, open to the public, but the idea of having small events at ArtHaus would be the opportunity for artists to try things out. Maybe they don't have it just perfect enough to go out in, you know, take it on tour yet, but they want to try it out. They want to try out a new act. They want to try out a new burlesque number. They want to try out a different set of stand-up comedy or spoken word, something that maybe you wouldn't just go out and do publicly in a public place. But you might do it at ArtHaus and have that kind of laboratory feel where you just try it out. And you have a small audience, you have maybe a couple people there live, socially distant, wearing masks, and then the rest of it is just live streamed, and then you get the experience of doing it before. And that's actually something that I saw was really beneficial to my students, because of all the things I taught was public speaking. And before I taught it, I worked in a place called the Communication Arts Studio at FIU, Florida International University. And when I was there, this Communication Arts Studio was kind of like taking your essay to the writing lab or the writing center to get grammar help and structure and support and things like that. But you would take your speech and present it to us. And one of the cool things about presenting a speech once already is you can work out all your nerves in that first one. And then when you do it for reals, for the class, it was always a higher score than they would have gotten if they didn't go to us first. And they would present their speeches, and then we would send them on their way to go present it in class, but give them the feedback and say, your argument is stronger if you do this, or you'll look more confident if you do that, and give that really quick feedback. So that being said, that's kind of the idea as well behind the small events at ArtHaus. And I want to show you, there's one more thing I have to set up on the computer here. This is my first time streaming to YouTube. I normally stream to, no! Musiknacht! Okay, well, it's not going to show up either. I'm such a horrible person. I'm really bad with computers and technology, and I tried to have this whole setup, like, bing, 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 one-woman show, I can do it. And my graphics are on my external hard drive, which I unplugged because the priority was the ring light. So the priority is the ring light. But I do have this to share with you. The ArtHaus Art Collective will be hosting Musiknacht, which is something that I can neither say, write, or spell usually, but it is an acoustic experience in Central Florida where you can come and check out a couple acoustic acts. We have Don Ugly and Robert Wilson from the Dead Show Dealers, and if you haven't heard their music, you should go check it out. You can check it out on these places on the YouTube Live. You can see it in the details, or if you go onto Facebook and if you look at my Cluos page and see the events that are listed there, you have the links to them, and they are absolutely fantastic. They're really great singer-songwriters, and the Dead Show Dealers too are just fantastic. So I'm sure they'd appreciate the like, shares, follows, whatnots that you got for them. Go just listen to it and see if you like it, because that is what we're going to be presenting to you on Saturday, December 19th. It'll be a showcase that is live streamed, just like this, to YouTube Live, but it will also be available to have in-person, in-studios tickets sold. And I hesitate because I know that people are still a little bit worried about going out and going places, but in the ArtHaus setup that we're going to have, there are only 6 tickets available. So it's really exclusive. You will be one of just 6 who are watching this live, but it gives the bands someone else to look at besides just me and the camera, and it would be just kind of cool to experience that firsthand and be able to see the behind the scenes of the whole operation. And as you can see over here, it is sponsored in part by Castle Door Studios. So if you check them out on Instagram, they're Castle Door Studios, and they're just really wonderful people who are really skilled in capturing moments and capturing experiences. So if you have something that you need to have live streamed with multiple camera angles, I saw some really incredible footage that they did of a wedding recently. So if you are trying to do something socially distant but live stream it, that was what they were doing, was live streaming a socially distant wedding. So everyone that you saw in the film that they recorded were wearing masks, but it was also live streamed, so you could see comments of people who were experiencing that moment with the happy couple. So that was a really cool use of the technology that they have, and so we are obviously thrilled to have that technology here for Musiknacht, Saturday, December 19th, where Don Ugly and Robert, I want to say Ron Wilson, but Robert Wilson from the Dead Show Dealers will be performing. So they'll have 2 acoustic sets each where they'll kind of alternate, so if you catch it later in the stream, they'll both be playing 2 sets that you'll notice. So I want you guys to set a timer, save the date, check your calendars, all the things. Just make sure that you know it's Saturday, December 19th, where you can catch this acoustic showcase live from ArtHaus here on Facebook, here on YouTube live, just like we did. So this again was the first live stream that I've done on YouTube live, and there will be more of them coming where there's just things that I want to share with you and put it out into the universe and see what you think about it. So today we did the wonderful unboxing of the Ashadorable mug. I explained to you a little bit about what ArtHaus is, and you'll see it again soon, and invited you to check out Musiknacht. And so if you can't find it, if you don't know what to look for, how to get tickets, or you want to know more information, just reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that. I'm certainly around to answer any questions and explain stuff. And if you want to come check out ArtHaus and see it for yourself, I want you to do that too. So get at me, go to clueless.com, fill out the contact form, do what you gotta do. It's the internet. There's like a million ways that you can contact me if you want to. I'd love to welcome you to this space. And if you're not here in Orlando, then I'd love to give you a virtual tour and actually walk you through the space, which I'll be able to do if I'm not live streaming on YouTube. So thanks to everyone who watched either live or rewatched this later. I really appreciate it. This is something I'm really passionate about, and I want to see it succeed, and I want to share it with a lot of people. So if you know creatives who might be interested in this kind of stuff, or fellow filmmakers, female entrepreneurs, creatives, people who want to be creative but don't know how to be creative, any of those people, send them over to Cluos, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. And yeah, thanks for being good people. Until next time. Bye.